In the pulse of a globalized world, there's a silent, essential lifeblood. It's the crude oil that fuels our vehicles, heats our homes, and powers our industries. We take its presence for granted, assuming its flow is as constant as the tides. But what if that flow were suddenly interrupted? What if the critical pathways that carry this black gold across the oceans were strangled? The answer isn't just higher prices at the pump, it's economic upheaval, political instability, and a stark reminder of our civilization's profound vulnerability. Welcome back to the Prime Archive. We're glad you've joined us for this deep dive into a crucial, often overlooked aspect of our global energy landscape. If you find value in this type of informative content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep producing these in-depth explorations. Now let's get started. Over 60% of the world's petroleum is traded by sea on enormous tankers carrying millions of barrels. Imagine these tankers are cars on a vast ocean highway. While the ocean is immense, the shortest and most efficient routes often force them to converge through natural bottlenecks, narrow straits or canals. These are the world's critical oil choke points. Rerouting adds thousands of miles to a journey, dramatically increasing time and cost. A disruption at any of these choke points, even a temporary one, has immediate and far-reaching consequences. Delivery delays, supply shortages, and a rapid spike in global oil prices. Our journey begins at the single most important oil choke point, the Strait of Hormuz. Connecting the Persian Gulf with the Arabian Sea, this narrow passage, only 21 miles wide at its narrowest, handles a staggering 18 million barrels of oil every single day. That's almost 30% of all oil traded by sea. It's the primary export route for major producers like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, the UAE, and Iran itself. The vulnerability of Hormuz is intensely political. Iran, which controls the northern coastline, has often threatened to close the passage during times of heightened tension. These aren't empty threats. During the Iran-Iraq War in the 1980s, the tanker war saw both sides target commercial shipping. More recently, incidents involving mines and seized tankers have kept the region on edge. Hormuz is a constant flashpoint, where one miscalculation could choke off a huge portion of the world's energy supply. If Hormuz is the most critical for supply, the Strait of Malacca is arguably the busiest. This 500-mile waterway is the primary shipping lane connecting the Indian and Pacific Oceans. It's the shortest route between Middle Eastern suppliers and the voracious energy markets of East Asia, China, Japan, and South Korea. Nearly 1/4 of all the world's seaborne oil, around 16 million barrels per day, passes through. Unlike Hormuz, the main threats here are not just geopolitical. The strait has historically been a hotspot for piracy. While international efforts have reduced major incidents, sea robbery remains a concern. The biggest challenge, however, is congestion. The navigable channel is just a few miles wide in some places. A collision, an oil spill, or a large vessel running aground could cause a prolonged and massive disruption. For China, which imports a huge percentage of its energy through Malacca, this vulnerability is a source of intense strategic anxiety. Now we travel to North Africa, to a remarkable feat of human engineering, the Suez Canal. Opened in 1869, this 120-mile artificial waterway is a critical shortcut between Europe and Asia, eliminating the long journey around Africa. It handles a significant portion of the world's oil trade, and its importance has grown with Russian oil exports to Asian markets. Together with the nearby el-Mandeb pipeline, the Suez corridor accounts for around 9% of all global maritime oil trade. But the canal's design creates a unique vulnerability. It's narrow, making it susceptible to blockages. The world witnessed this firsthand in March 2021 when the container ship Ever Given became wedged across the canal for 6 days, completely halting traffic. The incident threw global supply chains into chaos and temporarily impacted oil prices. While the Ever Given wasn't an oil tanker, a similar incident with one is a very real possibility. Just south of the Suez Canal lies the Bab el-Mandeb, the Gate of Tears in Arabic. This narrow strait connects the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean and is the southern entry point for all traffic heading to or from Suez. The primary threat here is intense geopolitical instability. The strait is bordered by Yemen, a country mired in a brutal civil war that has repeatedly spilled into the maritime domain. Houthi rebels in Yemen have used anti-ship missiles and drone boats to target commercial shipping, creating an atmosphere of constant risk. At times, Major shipping companies have suspended transits through the strait, forcing ships onto far longer and more expensive routes. While international naval patrols provide some security, the chaos in Yemen ensures the Bab el-Mandeb remains one of the world's most precarious choke points. Heading north to the crossroads of Europe and Asia, we find the Turkish Straits, the Bosporus and the Dardanelles. These are the only outlets for countries bordering the Black Sea, making them vital for Russian and Caspian oil exports. The Bosporus, in particular, is a notoriously difficult passage. Its narrow winding has powerful currents and flows right through the heart of Istanbul. Because of this difficulty, the Turkish government has implemented strict regulations for large vessels to prevent accidents. These safety measures limit the number of tankers that can pass through each day, creating significant delays, especially in winter. While not facing direct military threats like Hormuz, the Turkish Straits are an operational bottleneck that consistently impacts the flow of oil from the Black Sea region. Moving now to Northern Europe, we encounter the Danish Straits. This system of 3 main channels is the only maritime gateway for oil exports leaving Baltic Sea ports, primarily from Russia. The waters are relatively shallow and winding, with complex currents and frequent fog. These physical constraints, much like in the Turkish Straits, limit the size and number of tankers that can safely pass, often causing delays. The primary concern here is safety and the ever-present risk of a major oil spill in these enclosed and ecologically sensitive waters. Let's cross the Atlantic to the Panama Canal. This engineering marvel's role as an oil choke point has evolved. Historically, its small locks limited tanker sizes. The 2016 expansion changed the game, allowing larger tankers to use the canal, opening a crucial route for refined products like gasoline and diesel from the US Gulf Coast to South America and Asia. However, the canal faces a unique environmental vulnerability: freshwater. It depends on water from the rain-fed Gatun Lake to fill its locks. During severe droughts, which are becoming more frequent, the Canal Authority is forced to impose restrictions, limiting a ship's weight or even reducing the number of daily transits. This unpredictability creates a significant bottleneck for this critical Western Hemisphere corridor. Our 8th choke point is not a strait or canal, but the Suez Pipeline. This 200-mile system provides a direct land-based alternative to the Suez Canal. It runs from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean coast of Egypt. Some oil tankers are simply too large to pass through the Suez Canal. For these very large crude carriers, the Suez pipeline provides a vital workaround. They unload their oil, which is pumped across Egypt, and reloaded onto other tankers. Operating in parallel, the Suez Canal and the Suez Pipeline form a combined choke point accounting for 9% of global maritime oil trade. Any event disrupting the pipeline would immediately place enormous strain on the Suez Canal itself, limiting the total volume of oil that can flow through this critical global artery. Our journey has taken us across the globe, from the turbulent Persian Gulf to the frozen Baltic Sea. These 8 oil choke points, though varied in location and nature, are unified by a powerful truth. They are the critical, yet profoundly fragile, arteries of our global civilization. Disruptions, whether from military conflict, a ship running aground, political turmoil, or environmental factors, can have an immediate and global impact. They can destabilize economies, intensify political rivalries, and directly affect the lives of billions. Understanding these choke points is about recognizing the hidden architecture of our modern world. It's a stark reminder that in our interconnected world, we are all dependent on a network of vital, yet precarious flows. Thank you for watching this detailed exploration on the Prime Archive. If you found this video insightful, please take a moment to hit that like button. It makes a huge difference. And most importantly, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Prime Archive and click the bell icon to join our community. We value your input. What topic would you like us to explore next? Leave a comment below. Until next time, thank you for being a part of our journey.